Hello and welcome to one more episode in the Vulnerable Me. Uh, I have with me a new friend, Balraj, and we've been knowing each other on Facebook and like each other's sharings quite often. Uh, Not only by pressing the like button, but I think generally we have a similar point of view on things. So, welcome and thank you for agreeing to be a guest on this podcast. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, Balraj?
Yeah, thank you, Surinder, for uh, connecting with me. I mean, it's been some time,
Yeah,
not too much time, weeks probably.
yeah,
And yeah, I kind of agree with all that you said. In the sense, our points of view match very well in much of it and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I am basically a creative professional.
Okay,
I've dabbled with a few things. I was as a kid itself. I was very excited to read the newspaper, and the first I would go is to peek into the cartoon of that day. So that as a child, kind of uh, developed into what I wanted to make it into a career and things like that. But along the way, I kind of got diverted, pleasantly uh, diverted into other fields like journalism, then advertising. Started off with sculpture because I couldn't find a course in cartooning. So I took up sculpture and then went into cartooning. I figured along the way that cartooning is quite challenging because it's not a mainstream profession, and I have to supplement it or uh, kind of broaden my career horizon and be a little more adaptable and things like that. So to that extent, uh, whenever I got a chance, uh, depend on cartooning and then bit of writing. That's how it became sort of my interest in couple of fields. So on the whole, I say that I'm a creative professional.
yeah,
Sometimes I would illustrate, sometimes I would write, sometimes I would design also, but not so much. So as a creative professional, I have worked in media, advertising, uh, mm, a bit of events, bit of theater. I didn't know where it is a hobby and where it is a profession and things like that. So somewhere it probably is useful or blends itself when I whatever I do and kind of want to pursue and things like that. I've worked in a couple of media publications as a cartoonist. One is Deccan Herald, which is a where I come from, as in Bangalore, and in Karnataka, that's a well-known English newspaper. Now it's also in Delhi, uh, but otherwise also I worked with Times of India as a illustrator and a sculpture consultant. That was my first job. But along the way, I worked. I was a contributor as a cartoonist for the Caravan magazine,
ah,
uh, but that was long back and for a short while. But other publications here and there, I would publish once in a while and things like that. But that's not really a mainstream profession, which I kind of realized along the way. So I am more of a copywriter right now, if I
yeah.
have to say.
Okay, that is quite a bit of juggling that you've been doing so far. I've also noticed that uh, you're quite happy being a creative professional. Most of the time, your reactions to the happenings around us, or even general things, I find quite amusing in terms of you're like penetratingly trying to get to the what is it that makes it tick, whatever that idea is. I find that very interesting. um, it is amazing that you started with something that I want to ask you a question, because today I was wondering, since we've been talking for a couple of days, what is the question that would trip you so that we have a good discussion on vulnerability? So I have a very
Uh,
simple question. As
huh,
as a kid, I found being a creative person, in spite of the interest, like you said, you may have been attracted to cartooning, or I was attracted to books. I used to read and get thrashed and read and read and read. So you found a book in every corner of my house, and I was reading all the time and wasting a lot of time,
uh,
according to my parents, not concentrating on studies but reading novels. And but so my question to you is that I sometimes felt that the world, and not only my parents, my friends' parents, and there was not much trust on uh, these kind of pursuits. So, in terms of vulnerability, I felt there was something wrong with me initially, and it was something to be hidden and something to be ashamed of, and or rather, you did. Ashamed is a very strong term, but you did because it was your own private passion. But there was life and there was this. I never thought that these could merge, and it made a lot of. Uh, it made me feel guilty about a lot of things that I did not bother to think about at that time. But when I was thinking, what is the question I want to ask you? So this is a question I want to ask you. As a kid, was there anything at all that made you feel vulnerable? Anything at all? Even before you knew the meaning of the word vulnerable.
no, for such a long time, I was never really so articulate or able to kind of discover the things or the topics that we could discuss, like the one we are doing and things like that. Uh, uh, there's always a kind of a mixture of, I mean, if one would say like nature nurture, in the sense, a lot of the environment around me either was encouraging or it was kind of wanting me to look for ways where I can adapt and things like that. I come from a family who are into different fields, but never in the field of creative arts or, for that matter, anything. I mean, my dad was a businessman, my sister was a judge, my brother was an engineer and architect, but for some strange reason, I developed habit of drawing and looking for things which are not really appreciated, uh, at least in our generation.
Yeah.
Uh, so so yeah, I mean, I would define it as uh, a lack of self-belief, in the sense you would have realized that whatever you read or your interest in knowing, pursuit of knowledge, or this interest of or curiosity to know, which my parents were quite orthodox and they didn't really understand what is this guy up to. I was also like that, in the sense I had a penchant for reading. It was mostly newspaper rather than, I mean, I used to read books as well. I More than that, I would buy a lot of books and things like that, and not been able to read everything that I bought and things like that. But
Sure.
in one sense, uh, uh, reading or journaling, these were very therapeutic in a way, and that I realized uh, uh, after I read on the internet or in books that, or some people saying that it's a therapeutic way to what should I say? I mean, either redeem oneself of the opinions of others or expectations of others. When you don't have a friend who would sync with you on some level about these aspects, there's always a way to maintain a diary or a journal, read. like now on the internet, I mean, Facebook is such an amazing thing wherein it is one of the platform where people come and generate content rather than how the old world thought of content is created and then you sell something,
Consume it.
sell a product kind of a thing. So that way, social media is awesome, not just for creative people, for I guess for everybody in general. So if I have to answer about my vulnerability, it was a kind of a challenge of accepting myself as much as accepting my environment and expectations of people around me. We are not individuals who are like islands in that sense. In the sense, like because of much of Western influence, we have become individualistic. At the same time, India or the Asia itself is more of a community kind of an ethos. So, because of all the social and entertainment that we get from the West, we are at least this generation, or even more so the coming generation, a blend of both Western concepts and Indian concepts and things like that. So I can have my own room. I can do my own tastes of watching things or writing things or reading things. At the same time, my parents will still be supportive, or my siblings will be still be supportive, in that sense of being part of the family and things like that. I mean, if you look at Western ways of life, after a point, the kids leave home and make whatever they want to make of in their lives and things like that. But India, in that sense, is a kind of
you need to not move so much because your phone is reacting to the. It seems to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Just be stationary. You're quite evocative with your body language as well. I think you need to adjust. Your face is not proper yet.
Yeah.
So you've covered a lot of ground now. Couple of things, but one important question: this sense of vulnerability that you felt, did it hinder your growth as a creative person, according to you?
What you say vulnerability is, for me, was, I mean, in hindsight, I feel that it is lack of self-belief. But vulnerability shouldn't be negative. It could also be positive, in the sense, if I'm able to doubt some of the things, then I will probe and curiously find out whether something is worth or not. Once you find out whether it is useful, worth, then it is a positive trait in oneself. And everything reveals, I guess, in time, what I need to be or what I can do. One can't hurry what's within you. I mean, if I am meant to be something, or I have an interest in something, I have to be both, in some sense, curious and able to find what it is. At the same time, convince people around me what I am doing is worth it, or is it right? Am I deviating too much from what I need to be, and things like that. So it's like a balance of responsibility with playful curiosity to find and do what I want to do. And to some extent, I have to be practical in the sense that it might be a lot of joy in writing or creating something, but if it isn't practical in the realistic world of fetching me something monetarily, or fetching some bit of recognition that I could get more work, or also find satisfaction in it. So is that uh, it is that probably an intelligent balance of both being practical and at the same time being able to enjoy what I do and things like that.